I'm not the first ED here. I'm about probably the 4th or the 5th. So if the committee has not been set up and the organization has been running, then it means that there is a structure that has a responsibility to manage the day-to-day affairs of this institution. They are making reference to something called the Policy Council. Below the Policy Council is a board of directors. The Policy Council has been able to meet, and so there was a system put in place to establish the National Climate Change Secretariat. But let's assume that that is the case where the Policy Council is not the place. That responsibility now evolves upon the board of directors, which took the decision. And so, again, each of the steps they are taking are intended to sway things in that direction, but that's all false.
So did you follow Nathaniel, your former successor, Nathaniel Blammer, who was here? Similar thing was done when you were asked to resign.
It is gangsterism. Now they try to get the press involved, and that's why I'm glad that you guys are here. It's gangsterism, and we're not going to do that. We have a new government. This country has to go by the rule of law. You don't come disrupt things here and say, oh, this person is not tender. That's not your decision to make.
Yes, sir.
That's not your decision to make. 2, the basis for that, your agitation, is wrong. It's totally wrong. I've given you references. It's wrong. Now it's there for you to go and check. Yes, sir.
Yeah, let's look at the social aspect of this entire thing. You, as the executive director of the EPA, why do you think the employees here will be wanting you out? Is it sour relationship? What has been the the level of social responsibility, relationships you've had with your employees here that may have prompted their action?
Well, I can't answer that. You will have to ask them. What's their motivation? What's moving? I can tell you that.
What's the level of relationship between the people?
I have a good relationship with my people here. But like I told you, I didn't come here to run a popularity contest. I came to run an institution based on rules, policies, and procedures. Notwithstanding, I try to open myself to people to be able to understand and consult.
So as per your current mandate, when does it expire?
So you do the research.
When were you?
I was appointed here October 2nd for a 7-year term. So do the calculation. First, verify what I'm telling you by going to the act. I just give you reference to the act. Go there and you'll find it.
So as per the 7 years mandate, by 2027.
That's correct. October 1.
You should be.
That 10 years should be finished.
Would you mind serving on a new government, having the Unity Party government, and so on? People see you like being more into the CDC than the Unity Party.
I'm a Liberian. The fact I'm a CDC does not mean that I can work in this country. I have skills. I have experience. If there's a job to be done, I would do it. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So it doesn't matter where I come from.
To what extent you hope to carry this matter? Because legitimacy now is on the microscope.
Yeah, but I have given you references. It's left with you to verify what they are saying. So you don't ask me how I need to carry it. I have the law. I give you reference. It is your responsibility to check. Now you can decide to do 2 things. You can decide to run with them, which would be tantamount to smearing, and you can take that burden, or do what you do best by counter-checking the sources I gave you. But that's your choice.
Okay.
That decision is yours.
Do you mind showing us through as to how you were brought here? Since
you were brought here. I detected how I was appointed.
Yeah,
I got a letter from the president.
And according to them, you must have being spotted by the board, which is the policy council you're talking about. And
no, by the board.
By the board to the president, and then before you get appointed, and for confirmation. Was that done?
First of all, back up a little bit. Somebody's appointed you to a position. They appointed you to a position. Do you go back to the person and tell them, say, oh, did you go through the process? Do you do that? That's crazy.
But they are saying you are here on a tenure. It's not a tenure, but how you call it? Acting, yes, an acting, employment. It is not official as a tenure.
Woman, if somebody is making an allegation, let them prove it. Don't ask me to prove it.
Their reliance has been the act.
The act, because it's not established.
The act that established the institution, it says that there shall be an executive director. You understand? And that executive director shall be appointed for a tenure of 7 years. In the meantime, there shall be appointed an interim executive director. As a lawyer, that means after that law is passed, somebody is going to be appointed as interim following the process to be met. You know what I'm saying? That's the first person. That's what happened. After that, you have been consistent. Do your homework.
Mr.
I'm
Tarpeh,
not the first year.
You go for some couple of years now. Why couldn't you push that this NOR be established?
The what?
That this R be established, because you
Who's
said
that?
the policy, that's the policy council. Why couldn't you push that it gets established so it can be effective? That will stand as a perfect bargain for you.
But why?
A better working relationship with many of them here. You one or the other working in line with certain institutions that you should have managed out there in the interest of the country. Even give you some funds and you are one or the other diverting that money into your personal accounts instead of the government accounts. All of these allegations, will you mind say something?
I told you my first statement was all of those allegations are baseless, false, and untrue.
Granted. So what do you think they're going to level?
It is your responsibility. And what's your name?
Stephen. Sir.
Stephen. If somebody says Stephen stole money, Stephen took money that he should have given to the newspaper, he pocketed the money. Is it you to prove that you didn't do it, or the person who alleging to prove that you did it? In this country, he who alleges has the burden of proof. You see, you journalists, you gotta be careful with people trying to use you. You are asking me to prove what they are saying. No. I have told you my first statement. All of the allegations are false, they are baseless, they are untrue. Now, if they are saying that what I'm saying is not true, they didn't give you proof. It's your responsibility to demand the proof. It is your responsibility, not mine, to demand the proof. Let them give you proof.
They've given you the opportunity to describe their attitude and towards you this morning or the institution. What could you see?
Oh, it's unfortunate. Lawlessness, gangsterism.
Disappointed.
Of course I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised.
Okay?
Yes, I'm not
You
surprised.
expected this?
Well, not necessarily especially from people that come from, but in this country right now, you do work. When you sit somewhere, you can say, oh, this and that. You can. I come from a background where when you sit somewhere, you expect anything and be prepared to.
So, Professor, finally, it means that between you and some of those workers here, is there a means of division? Certain people are supporting certain individuals to ascend to your position.
Listen, I treat all of them the same, but some people step out of line and they don't expect to be given demerit. And I'm saying to you, I didn't come here to run a popularity contest, meaning that everything I do, everybody might like it. No, I play by the rules. But I work with my staff, and I have a good relationship with majority of the staff. I want to do for all of them. So the few of them who are,
Let me just come, Professor Tarpeh. Let's take a look at your legitimacy again. The act that created the institution, like you said earlier on, it provides 7 years for the chief executive officer or the ED for this institution. But the requirement, the bottom line was the board to make recommendation, which the board did not do. The president appointed you, and you did not go for confirmation, which is also part of the act that you should go for confirmation.
Wrong. Let me correct that. You see, you guys have to do your research. The appointment here does not require confirmation. You got to do your work, or else people are going to use you to accomplish their agenda. I said that before. You got to do the research. Do the research. I gave you reference. Read the act. Read the act.
Prof,
and you have to be careful with that. Read the act.
The proper clarity we came for.
That's exactly what I'm giving you.
Okay, because
what I'm giving you, I've given you the act. I've given you references. I've quoted them. Go to the act. Section 16 of the act gave the executive director, who is appointed based on the recommendation of the board, for a renewable term of 7 years.
On the aspect of the confirmation, you said that's not true. What's about the recommendation?
What recommendation?
Were you recommended by the board?
How will I know that? I was not here. The president made it this year. Do I go ask him, say, according to, are you supposed to do that? That's not my responsibility. Doesn't make sense. That's not my responsibility. So if they have reasons to believe that the president acted unjustly, let them produce it.
Did your